Hello everyone, so in this video I'm going to be breaking down the best possible loadout for the medium class in the finals, and this is going to include specialization, weapon, and the best gadgets. So all of these you can check the timestamps down below if you want to find them. But first of all, I'm going to explain that medium is by far the most broken class currently in the finals, primarily because of a few gadgets that medium has as well as the specialization. And we're going to be talking about that here. Just know that medium is by far the most broken class, and for that reason I think heavy's in a pretty good spot right now. I think light does need a buff, but yes, so guys, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Specialization, this is kind of no-brainer. There's Healing Beam, Guardian Turret, and Recon Senses. Healing Beam is basically where you can go up to a teammate and just heal them, right? If you played TF2, it's like Medic. If you played Overwatch, it's like Mercy, right? That's just what this is. But with that being said, just because you have a heal, it doesn't mean that you're like a hard support player. This is just something you can whip out and heal someone really quickly. And so this is by far going to be the best specialization. It's the one that I have used primarily. A lot of you might want to run some of these. These might seem cool or whatever. Guardian Turret is actually not bad. It's pretty annoying to kind of deal with, especially whenever you're playing against people that are not super coordinated. However, if you are playing against people that are super coordinated, this is not going to be very useful. And with Recon Senses, I would probably not really take this ever. I would definitely stick with Healing Beam. It's kind of just objectively better because you can heal your people all the way up. It does have a limit. This little plus icon that you see will kind of drain and it'll turn red and then you can't heal anymore, but it heals a lot. Like, you can heal a heavy all the way up, so it's just really good. Especially if you're playing in a stack with people that are playing together, it's really good. I would not recommend taking these. If you're new, you can kind of experiment with them, but objectively Healing Beam is just the best. So that's just kind of I think most people that are pretty decent in this game would heavily agree. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to weapons. So I think really there's only a few weapons I would consider here, and these are primarily the FCAR or the SCAR and the AKM. So the AK is like the default weapon that you have. It has 36 bullets, and it has some recoil. So for that reason, I do actually prefer the SCAR. This is kind of, I feel like, preference to some extent, but I do prefer the SCAR for a few reasons. Just because, one, it has 20 bullets, which kind of sucks, but you'll see that the recoil is really quite lessened, and it does more damage. You can melt stuff, and the reload, I'm not sure the reload time is different, but yeah, so between these two, these are probably going to be two of the best for medium class. I would highly recommend picking between these two. There are other options you have, but generally these are the best two. It's kind of preference between these two. The grenade launcher is kind of garbage. Say this is someone that has like medium health, you're gonna have to hit them with 3, and then the reload time is pretty, and if you're close range, you're gonna be damaging yourself. So just not the best. I would not recommend running the grenade launcher. I actually thought this was like one of the best weapons at first, but then I realized it's kind of inconsistent. It's actually really fun to use, so I would put this, like, if there's like in a tier list, I would put the AK and the SCAR in like S tier, and I would put this one probably in like A or B tier, especially if your aim is like really smooth. But it's gonna be less consistent, and yeah, so this one's just gonna be, the SCAR is gonna be easier to use. Model kind of has a similar problem as the grenade launcher in that the reload time is really, obviously I'm not gonna do damage from this range. It does good damage, but the reload is quite slow. So I would, again, unless you're playing with people and you have a strat where you're like coming in close range against people, I would not recommend the shotgun. And not recommend, basically, out of all the weapons, even some that I think are not listed here, the SCAR and the AKM are your best options. So I always run the SCAR. Yeah. Alright guys, so if you have any questions about the weapons, let me know. But moving on to gadgets, we have let's just start with the most necessary. This is like S tier, right? This is the best ability in the entire game right now, which is Defibrillator. If you don't understand why, it's because normally when you have to revive someone, you have to sit here and hold E, right, for like, I don't know how long it is. It feels like 4 or 5 seconds. But with Defib, you can run up, boom, they're res, you keep running, you turn around to heal them. And now you can see the synergy between the heal and this, right? As soon as I see someone that's dead, like a heavy dies, boom, heal. They pull up their shield if they're a good player. Usually they're not because I don't have a team. But here you can actually see, I can heal this guy. Now you can see what I mean with the heal, right? You can see I can heal it pretty far, and I can still heal a little more until that red goes all the way up. You can see it actually goes down pretty quickly. If you max it out, it goes down slower. It takes longer to recharge. But the defib is just broken. The cooldown on it is relatively longer, as it should be. But there's no other ability in the other classes that will match the defibrillator. It's just broken. Like, you can pull out your heal. Usually, people are going to be rezzed whenever you defib them. They're going to have about half HP. So you want to pull out the heal if you do have it equipped. So yeah, defib, no brainer. You have to have it if you're playing medium. If you don't have the defib on medium, you might as well not play medium. Yeah. So gadgets. Also, one more thing about defibrillator. If you're playing with another medium, res the other medium first, boom, and then they have a defibrillator. If your other teammate's dead, they defib the other teammate. Again, it's just broken. It's just broken. This needs to be changed, nerfed, or if not changed or nerfed, then they should probably buff light. Anyways, guys, moving on to these other gadgets. These are also probably going to be A or S tier, zipline and jump pad. So zipline, you can see the range here. It's pretty crazy. This is how far it goes down right there. I can throw this all the way over here. You can zipline on it, and you can throw this, like, I can throw this up top. I could go from like here all the way up to up there. I'm getting shot. And then one thing you'll want to know about ziplines is that you can actually break them. So after you do this, if there's someone like a team following you, you might want to like melee it here. You can just break it, and then they can't follow you. If you didn't know that, it's good to know. Ziplines can be used to go up, they can be used to go down, they can be used to do pretty much anything. It's just really nice, especially when your team's playing all together, especially when you want to take high ground. High ground's really important in this game. And so yeah, like, let me show you. You want to go to the top of a roof, because like, say you're like, there's a building here and there's like the cash out inside, this on top. You'll have to kind of practice with the placement. So you'd probably want this to be up a little bit higher if you could on something, but yeah, and then remember, you can melee it so other people can't come in. And so that's really important. Movement's really important in this game. Being able to take high ground, being able to take positional advantages against your enemies is really important. And for that reason, the jump pad's also very useful. So if you just run into this, you don't go as far as if you were to slide into it. Just a little tip. So if you're to run and then slide into it, you actually go a bit farther. You also go less far if you're heavy than you would if you're light. So medium goes like about in the middle. Just another tip. I don't know if you can break these, actually. I guess not, but once, you see the cooldown's pretty short, so I can go ahead and place another one, and that one will disappear. You can only have one at a time. So yeah, these are movement abilities. You can take both. Taking both is pretty good, honestly, if you have a solid team, and especially if you're in like Discord or whatever, and you're calming a lot. But if you feel like if you're just solo queuing, you might not take both of these. You might just take one, whichever one you prefer. Honestly, zipline's pretty nice. It has a little more versatility, I think, than jump pad in some scenarios, but overall they're both pretty darn good. So yeah, at least take one of these and at least take defibrillator. And then other than that, guys, I would highly recommend one of the mines here. I haven't really used glitch trap, but I have used explosive mine and gas mine. That's why you see them in my reserve over here. So I think gas mine's probably better than explosive mine, mainly because explosive mine has got me killed a handful of times. Like if you hold this out and you like throw it and then someone shoots it, you're dead. If you're like throw it down, you forget it's there, and you're standing on top of it, it kills you. So you have to be very mindful of that. But with that being said, you can place it in certain areas. Like one of my favorite ways to use the explosive mine is like when I'm being chased and I'm like really low and I know I'm really low. I like to just run it and then right around the corner throw a mine like this, and then kind of just like wait like this, and then they'll just always run into it. Especially if it's a light, it's really funny and it's really useful. You get a kill. But going for kills in this game is not always the most important thing. Sometimes it's important to play the objective, and playing the objective means using a gas mine, right? So gas mine is probably like, so if explosive mine's like A or B tier, gas mine's gonna be S tier. Yeah, so if you're not taking both movement abilities, the gas mine's really good. I would recommend highly throwing it on top or around the objective whenever you're cashing out, and you can either shoot it, or the enemy's gonna trigger it without realizing. and you know, it's just broken. Like, you can't do anything about this. It damages you and it damages your teammate though, so be careful. It damages pretty quickly. People are not going to be able to steal the cash out inside of this. So if you have good placement, you can also throw 2. So remember that. You can throw 1 there, and you can throw another one like on the other side, and it's just really annoying. What are they going to do? Like, Heavy can run this, you can run this, you can have 4 of these. It's just really annoying, and it's really good. So definitely would recommend trying that out. In terms of everything else here, APS turret I think could be good. I've only tried it like a few times. Basically what it does is it shoots projectiles from the enemies. So like if they're throwing nades and stuff, it's kind of like the ability from Rainbow Six Siege. But I haven't really ran that much. Maybe if you're trying to do some specific kind of strat. Let me take this. One thing I do definitely like, so let's just run through all these. So flashbangs, all right. Frags, good. Gas, I think is pretty good as well, because it's probably not as good as gas mine, yeah. Power grenade, haven't used these much. Honestly, haven't used these grenades much. Sonar grenade, I think is pretty good. I would put this in A tier, mainly for certain situations. Because again, you know, recon census is not amazing compared to like healing beam, but sonar grenade, if you can make room for it, if you're like cashing out and you can like throw this inside of the room of the cash out, it can be really effective. And I feel like it's kind of like a psychological thing. Whenever you're playing against it, whenever you know that everyone in the game knows where you are, it's kind of like it kind of just gets to you. So I think especially if you're starting off in ranked, which most of you probably are because this game's pretty new, you can just kind of chuck this. And let's see if I can see what this looks like. I don't know if there would be an enemy coming around. No? Okay.
Scanning that area.
There it is. So yeah, like, you know, and this will just keep scanning and scanning and scanning. I'm not sure the exact duration, but it keeps going for a little bit. I guess that's not very long actually. But like, say you know the enemies are coming into the building, they're about to start stealing. It just helps you and your team get on the same page. Like, okay, let's go on this person. I just think it can be good. Probably not as good as these other ones that we've talked about, but still pretty good. Tracking dart, honestly, I've never used this, so I actually don't know what this does.
Tracking them down.
Did I even hit them? All right, let's see.
Tracking dart successful.
Okay, so it's just kind of like the sonar grenade, except you hit one person with it, and it. Yeah, so I don't know. I would probably not use that. I would just use the sonar grenade if you're gonna use anything like that. Not the best. Goo grenade's definitely not bad, but there's a lot of objects in the arena you can use instead of this. So I probably wouldn't use this. Also, your heavy, you can put this on instead because you have more important abilities like jump pad, zipline, stuff like that. I do like to run mine. I do like to run like zipline, gas mine, defibrillator. I do like to try out these 2 movement abilities too, though. So yeah, that's pretty much gonna be all, guys. If you want more guides like this for the other classes, I've been playing a bit of heavy right now. I started with a bit of light. I will need to play more, but let me know, and I will gladly make more for those classes. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and peace.